Okay, so today, brunch and breakthrough.
Okay.
How are you? Let's get other people on the call real
I don't
quick,
know if
and then
you
we
can
can
hear
kick it
me. It's
off.
storming here in Maryland and it's affecting everything.
Yeah, it's about to start. It's actually about to start here as well in Charlotte. So everybody stay safe out there, and we can get this party started here. Do you want us to kick it off, and why we or we do want it for other people to come in?
There are a couple of people who said they're coming in, but a couple of them are having connection issues. So we can get started. Uh, I think let's start with Flake. I know, happy birthday, and if you would like to share your one highlight of the past week, which was the best of your last week. It could be anything, personal,
I
business,
think
anything.
maybe Richard should start. Maybe Lajide should start.
Oh, it's your birthday.
It's your birthday, for like what's your highlight of last week? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Don't pass. Don't pass it over.
I was able to complete the book I was reading, Traction. That was the highlights, and I was also. And today, I spoke with my cousin, and she just to find out she was going to still fund, and she fund. So I was very happy.
Those are two good wins. She completed a book, and then you have an investor coming in on our deal. So that's a beautiful
Yeah,
one.
and I told her. Yeah, and I told her about the deadline, and she is still very much interested. So.
That's awesome. That's a good one for the birthday. What about you? Any exciting thing last week? Actually, before Tutu goes, Lajide, you can go because it's both of you in on the car. So Lajide, you can go too.
Welcome to
Uh,
Tisha. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
well, um, I we were able to we got our first funding last week, so one of my investors funded. It's been kind of not easy getting people to fund these days, so that was a big win for me.
I did the second.
And the second,
That's good.
Second
That's
and
good.
but where's the no,
no, you're supposed to give 2 weeks.
2 wins?
Uh,
The other second one is I'm taking my wife out.
let's go. You guys go have a good time. I'm and I appreciate another one more year of being on this beautiful earth and being able to be in a platform in an environment where you're continuing to grow and being challenged to grow every single day. So you guys go out there, have a great time, and tell us all about it. Okay. Who else?
Oh well.
Tutu, you go ahead if you can speak.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Please go
Okay.
ahead.
So for me, I've been because of course not long I joined the group, so I've been looking at the content, on the platform, listening to like the recording videos. Then I started to read the Blue Ocean book, and I find it very interesting. And what I've started to do is to see how I can apply that to strategy of how, when it gets to that point when I'm going to start fundraising, how I can apply the Blue Ocean strategy. And
Let's
I try
go.
to come up, to, write things down and know where that my market segmentation is going to be, who am I going to be targeting, how I'm going to be targeting them. So I think the book has really helped me see things differently, and now I can start structuring, things as I begin. So that's where I am.
That's beautiful.
That's
So,
beautiful. So,
what are some of
what
the
are some of
things
the
you've
things you've
captured
captured
that you can
that you
start
can start
implementing? Because we don't
implementing?
want to
Because we don't
wait
want to wait
until
until
later
later
for
for
you
you
to
to
start
start
implementing it.
implementing it.
Okay, part of what I've like captured from, at least from the book, is my target audience.
Okay.
who I can start targeting, for the fundraising. But before that, I'm setting up the structure, because currently the company which I have is not structured as a PE firm, right? So I'm about starting that process in, registering the organization, the company. But before I do that, I am thinking of the option of not going solo on this. So I have like two potential business partners that I want to bring on board, that I have had conversation with, but we've not finalized yet, because I just felt going solo on this, it's good to also have somebody who has similar drive, who also interested in multifamily, who can come together, and it would make the journey much more smoother than having to go solo on this. But like I said, I identified two people. I've spoken to them, and one of them, have a meet with them this Friday for us to talk through it and see whether things work well for us together, and we can, partner together on this and hit the ground running.
That is beautiful.
Get people, if you're looking to partner up on your venture, look for somebody that have complementary strengths, not somebody that have the same strength as you, such that you guys can augment each other as you go about this journey. I gave an example of Dr. Oni, Leslie, and I. We three of us have different strengths, and we're able to use that to maximize the production of exact capital. Dr. Lajide and Folake, they have two complementary strengths. Folake is good at operations, or Dr. Lajide is good at investor relations. For folks that don't have partners yet, you've started, that is the key. You've started the process of your movement. As you go along that journey, you're going to start attracting people that want to be in this journey with you. And if you see them to be a good fit, then you guys can partner up and move on. So great job reading the book. Good job identifying some key partners, and great job taking action. Anybody else wants to share two wins that they've had in the last 2 weeks or in the last week?
How about Tatisha? You're joining us on this call for the first time. And then we got a new member joining us today.
Letitia, and then we have Paniga. Paniga is not a new member. I think he's been here before.
I don't know how to pronounce. Sorry for my.
Let me see.
Bemileke.
Why don't I see the person?
Bemileke after
Oh, Bemileke.
Yes.
Onamuti. So, guys, please share your experience, some of the wins you've had in the last week. We just love to collaborate here. This is an open forum for us to get together and talk. And the topic today that I'm going to be sharing, I actually talked about it earlier this morning, is luck. We're going to go into a whole lot of conversation here about luck. And I would like to get everybody's perspective, what they think about people being lucky, and how they think that has played a role in their life and a lot of their experience. So I'm going to wait for some people to jump in and share some of their wins for the week. If not, we're going to go into having a conversation about somebody being lucky.
Sure.
Please go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, just a quick one. So yesterday I had someone from LinkedIn reached out to me after reading the comments that I made on the post, and he would like for us to have a conversation on how we can partner. I see that we do things and we have certain things in common, and that was very exciting to see. And in addition to that, I equally had an invitation to join a faith-based investors group. That also was from a comments that I made in a particular post on LinkedIn. So that was actually an amazing one for me. So secondly, or should I say third, in the last 2 weeks, I bought 4 hectares of land in my homeland. And
Nice.
And we're looking forward to, developing, maybe not in the short term, but for now we can explore interim uses of the land before we make major developments on the land.
Farming. We're going to do, what kind of plant do you want to grow on it?
Most likely corn and rice.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still thinking about it.
That's beautiful, man. That's a big win.
Thank you
Real
very much.
estate. Real estate. You buy it now, as long as you buy it in a good location with time, you're gonna appreciate. And of course, you're making traction on LinkedIn. Those are big wins. So we celebrate you for that for sure. Uh Bemileke, Bemileke, I think I got it right. You have any wins for yourself? Did I pronounce it right first?
Yes, good evening. You pronounce it right.
Good, good, good. How you doing?
I'm fine. Are you?
I'm living the dream, brother. Living the dream. Tell
That's
me,
good.
what are some wins you got this week?
Oh, well, some wins. Well, well, waking up in good health. That's a win. And also meeting my goals. Um, then planning my wife's 50th birthday. So those are the tasks I have right now going on with me.
Beautiful, beautiful. So wife turning 50. Where you guys
Yes.
going?
In Virginia.
Okay. You guys are renting a lake house in Virginia, going to that place, or what you guys doing?
No, 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 no. We reside in Virginia. We live in
Okay, so where you
Virginia.
guys going for the 50th? Are you doing a
No, no, no. We're gonna
party?
no, yeah, we're gonna have a party in Virginia. So we're planning towards it.
Okay. When is the date? Because I'm coming to eat rice.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll be invited. I'll get your info.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's a good one, man. God has have kept you and your wife. Is 50 now, so that's a big milestone to celebrate. Thank you for sharing that with us. And you say you have some goals. I'm hoping those goals are things that when you look back a year from now, you'll be like, man, I set these goals and I'm working towards achieving them. And again, thank you so much for joining this session today. We believe that just being here and get talking to other people, you're going to get inspired. And then you're going to learn one or two things that you can run with from here. Okay.
Yeah, thank you
Anybody
very much.
else? Anybody else? Me, I can go. A couple of wins for me. On the business front, we have a deal that we are fully subscribed to, that we launched, and we fully subscribed on the deal. Now we're going through funding, making sure everybody fund on the deal. That's a big win for us as a company. It's a $25.3 million deal, and we've had a significant amount of interest in the deal. Second, our team, they're working really hard. Having a lot of, we've had a lot of gaps in the company that we've identified, and we're fixing those. And everybody's fired up, and I'm just happy to see the team coming together and working closely to get things done. And then thirdly, we have one of our deals that we're looking to refinance. We're working through making sure that goes through with ease and stuff. So overall, from a business front, everything looks good. And then on a personal notes, I literally just got my kids in the house from the pool. They enjoy getting the water, so I'm excited. I was able to take them for about an hour to the pool, and they just got out of it before I came in and joined this call. So those are some of my wins. Adi, Fela, do you guys want to share some of your wins? Because you all are on the call as well. So briefly.
Jatisha shared her win in the chat. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys saw it. She said,
let me
my
see.
win was that I completed one of my 4 books for the year.
That's beautiful. What book did you read? I hope you can implement some of the things that you learned from the book.
So just for everyone's sake, she's at work, so she cannot speak. So
That's absolutely fine.
see, that's a win in itself. Like someone at work and also joining this call. So love that.
So yeah, we're gonna wait for her to share that book. And then Adi, Fela, and the other
My
people on the call, if you want to share some quick wins, please go ahead.
Yeah, quick win. My win this past week was a lot of things we did in the back end at Excite, both at marketing and a lot of like development, research went into that. So it just moves both Excite and all its members, investors forward in small different ways. And you'll start seeing the effects of it as we progress. So I'll just take that as a win.
Beautiful. Who else? Who wants to share?
Yeah, I like to share a win too. So my win would be getting better at organization. I work at XI Capital at the back end, and I think this past week working together with the team and then getting everybody on track, getting hold of leads and people to fund, and like getting investors to actually come into fund and be a part of what we're building is one thing I want to use as a win. And then another little win is I've been trying to get better at playing chess. So this past week, I've been learning every day on the chess app, and I got to beat a friend. So yeah, I use that as a win as well.
You might have to teach me, man, when you finish learning. That's good.
Tetisha responded, the book name is The Compound Effect.
That's one of my all-time favorite book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. That book, small little steps every single day, compounded over time, gives you a big result. When you want to climb the steps, and if you look the steps, all the steps, you'll be like, man, this is too long. But if you just look at the first step and then you start climbing, that is the outcome of what you get from a compound effect. So every single day you do little things to amplify. Another book, the T-shirt that you can you can read to amplify that concept or make that concept a little more concrete is a book written by Bill Walsh called the Score Will Take Care of Itself. That's another beautiful book that can help crystallize the concept you're learning from compound effect. So those are two good books on that particular topic. Who else? Nobody else have any win. So if nobody else have any win, we can or somebody has something compound effect. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and talk about a topic that are very important to a whole lot of us, I think, which is the topic of luck. Um, a lot of us are successful in our individual, different respective career, and I would like to pose a question to everybody and say, how have luck play a role in your success? And I can start. For me, I think how luck worked in my favor is one, um, just being in my own path of
No,
growth.
your luck is you met me. That's the luck. That's how
That's where I
luck
was
play.
going. That's where I was going. Actually, I didn't even know you were here. So my luck came with me moving in my own path of growth, and I ran across Leslie's wife. And the little story is, I was doing life insurance. I had a life insurance company where I was selling life insurance as part of my side hustle, as part of my entrepreneur journey. And then I went to a doctor's office at some point to share with them what I do. And I had like 6 or 7 people in the room that collected their contact information. And I reached out to every single one of them. I kept calling, following up. They say the sale is in the follow up. So kept following up, following up, following up, and the only person that picked up was Leslie's wife, and she picked up and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I cannot really help you. You need to come to my house and talk to my husband. He's the guy that's in charge of everything. I have no clue. Please come talk to my husband." I said, "Okay, so when do you want me to come over?" And she set up the time with her husband. And as you see how he's looking right now with his mean face, that's exactly what he did when I came to his house. He's like, okay, this is another insurance agent. At this point, I didn't know that he has already had an encounter with a couple of different insurance agents that I've tried to, sell him life insurance and stuff. But for some reason, he gave me an opportunity to sit down to talk to him about life insurance. So after I finished my spiel, we started talking about personal development. Remember, I did not know this guy from anywhere. I did not know him with his bar head from anywhere. I just went to sell life insurance, and And then we started talking about books. And interestingly, we were reading a similar book at the same time, and we just kicked it off from there. From there, we started talking about personal development, started meeting up every Friday to play the cash flow board game by Robert Kiyosaki, building a bond. And then before you know it, we created Excite Capital. The $217 million of assets that you're seeing that we have today wouldn't have happened if I had not met Leslie. The $217 million of assets wouldn't have happened if Leslie had not started Excite Capital and then taken it to Dr. Oni, right? And then if me, Dr. Oni, and Leslie had not moved with Excite Capital, the whole team and the whole platform that you're seeing right now wouldn't have been possible. So I would say
So
I was really lucky.
Tony, if I may add right to
Mhm.
that, because this is very in line with a lot of the conversations that we've been having with a lot of our mentees and other people that we've met along the journey. We've had even our investors have said, "Hey, you guys are so lucky that you found each other. You complement each other so much, and you guys work well together." And that is absolutely true. I consider myself absolutely blessed and incredibly lucky to have met Tenny the day he showed up in my house, even though I was trying to be mean to him, and to have met Dr. Oni in the operating room, and to because that led us to this path. But that luck did not just come haphazardly. It came when we each individual one of us started on the path. That is how you create your luck. Luck is not something that you just sit and it comes and meets you. You gotta get on that path first. Like it's kind of strange how it happened. I was in my own end reading books on personal development and craving for somebody else that is of my age, my generation, that's doing the same thing because I didn't have that around me. But I did not stop. I kept going. Then Tenny shows up and he's doing the same thing. He's moving in the same path. I had been working with Dr. Oni prior to that for at least 2, 3 years, but I never saw him in that light. I saw him as an orthopedic surgeon that was always harassing me for antibiotics. That's how I knew Dr. Oni. But when things change, when you get now on that path and then you open your mouth and talk, you start getting lucky. So luck does exist, but it doesn't come to those who sit at home and wait. That's my opinion on luck. So I was just gonna add that part to your story, Tenny, and then I'll leave it back to you.
Good job. So you're lucky for meeting me. So both of us are
Now
lucky.
I'm very lucky. I admit that 1,000%. I'm a very lucky man.
So as you guys can see, we started in that journey of our personal development, our personal growth, and along the line, we got lucky. We did not just sit at home. If I had not gone to the doctor's office, if I had not met Leslie's wife, and out of all the people that I called, if the wife hadn't picked up the phone, there was a high chance, or if I had not made that call in the first place. You know how they say that the shots, you say you miss 100% of the shot that you never that's never taken, right? But as long as you take that shot, you have a chance. The more time you shoot to the shot, the higher the chance. No matter how bad you are with basketball, no matter how bad you are, the higher the chance of you actually hitting, making a basket. That's basically what it was. I had all these ladies that gave me their contact. Out of all of them, I cannot remember one person today in my mind. The only person I can remember is Yvonne and Leslie that came out of that call. I picked up the phone and I called. If I had not made that call, all of these things we're talking about right now wouldn't have been here. So that is my story about luck. If anybody have any story to share, please come up and then we can talk about it. So the question is, how has luck played a role in your success where you are right now? Anybody? Everybody shy? All you got to do is unmute yourself and then you can speak. Again, guys, this is a break, conversation. Okay, it's not just me talking. If you want me to talk, trust me, I got the floor. I'll talk to you tomorrow. But I don't want me to just be the one talking. I want to give it an opportunity for people to actually interact and share some of the role luck has played in their personal growth as well.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead, Paninga.
So I just wanted to piggyback to what I said earlier on about my connection on LinkedIn. Years ago, because I started this nonprofit like 6 years ago, and we've had lots of training with young people. We've equally had speakers, some of which I have not seen in different parts of the world. But I have very good relationship with them because I got in touch somehow on maybe Twitter, LinkedIn. I saw their profile, I read their works, I connected with them, I sent them emails, private messaging on LinkedIn, and I didn't get responses from a lot of those people, but there were a few of those I emailed that I got responses from. And that has been very instrumental to my growth, personal development, professional development as well. And so if I had convinced myself that these people are high profile individuals who would have no time to respond to my email or LinkedIn messages, then there's so much I wouldn't have been able to achieve. So that's my own story of log.
So what I'm hearing is, you took action, you reach out to people, and then even though, regardless of their status, because you were
Yep,
constant in reaching out to them, you were able to get a breakthrough from there, right?
absolutely.
That's beautiful. And what are some other areas that you're currently working on that you feel consistency will help you actually achieve uh, breakthrough, or have you make you become lucky?
So when I started graduate school 3 years ago, it was so tough. I didn't have time to write consistently. But after I passed my candidacy exams, I decided to say, hey, Paninga, make sure you post on LinkedIn twice every week. And make sure you also make valuable contributions to people's posts on LinkedIn. So I wasn't sure that I could do that when I began. But when I started, it became very easy. Like the first week, of course, it wasn't easy. Second week, I had to do some more work and thinking, but eventually it became easy to create not just two contents in the week, but even much more. And again, that was responsible for the recent connection that I had. Like I had an invitation to join a private group, and I also had an invitation to partner with somebody on a project. We are yet to discuss on that, of course, but that would not have happened if I had not consistently created content and shared on LinkedIn.
Got you, man. That's powerful, man.
Thanks, Tim.
Consistency. So I hear consistency. So that's powerful. Anybody else would like to share how luck have played a role in their success? Guys, I'll share if nobody's ready to share. I have another example.
To
Oh,
say,
Claude, please go ahead. Claude, go ahead, Claude. Claude, are you looking to go? You want me to continue? No? All right. So another lock that we had, or I would say personally that I had, um, was let me see. I don't know. I don't know. I think I'll call this one. This is the big lock that I had. Um, so when I graduated from undergrad in Nigeria, a lot of folks that are in Nigeria will relate to this. Um, so I graduated from college in 2008. I graduated from Futo Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and then afterward, I said, you know what? I want to go do my youth service in Abuja. Now I live in Port Harcourt, which is in the southern part of Nigeria. But I don't have any relative in Abuja. I don't have any friends or anything in Abuja. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna, take the plunge and just go and do my youth service. When you go to in Nigeria, when you do youth service, 3 weeks, the first 2 weeks that you're there, you're in a camp where the government provide accommodation for you. You get a place, you stay in there for 3 weeks. But after the 2 weeks now, you have to now go into the city where you go get a job. They post you to somewhere, you get a job, and you have to be working for 1 full year. That means you need to have a place that you're staying at, that you live in for you to actually go to that job. So so before the end of the day that we've been at a camp that they're providing accommodation for us, and that hit me that I don't know anybody in Abuja. So reach out to say, okay, I'm going to go stay at that place for a couple of weeks before I get my place to stay. So I was like, you know what? Let me go back to college and ask a couple of people if they know anybody in Abuja. So I reached out to my best friend, and I said, "Yo, I'm in Abuja right now. You already know I'm doing my youth service here. I'm looking for somebody that lives in Abuja. Do you know of anybody?" He was like, "Yeah, one of our classmates lives there. Give him a call. Give him a call." So I picked up the phone, called him, and he was like, "Oh, absolutely, come over." So me, I didn't have a place to live. The day that I was leaving the camp, that guy called me up. I was like, "Yo, it's okay. You can come to my house and stay there for. You can stay there for as long as you want." I said, "Beautiful, no problem. I'm coming." I packed my things from the camp and I moved over to his house. So I got there, guys. This is really very interesting. If somebody says luck is not a thing, it's a big thing in all of our success. So I got there, I stayed in the house. So this is my buddy. His dad works in Lagos, but him and his mom they live in Abuja. So the dad is not physically living in their house at the time. He lives in Lagos in another state. So I stayed there for about a week or 2 weeks, and I've not found another place to move to. And the cost of living in Abuja is pretty expensive. So I was like, man, how am I going to get money to actually go pay for a place to stay? But that's something that was going on in my mind. I was talking to my parents, and they're like, "Yeah, don't worry, we'll figure it out." And then suddenly, my friend's mom called me up one day and said, "Hey, Tenny, my husband is going to be coming down soon, and it looks like you're not making move to find where you're going to go stay when you're done. Right now, you're not making move to find somewhere you're going to go stay. Have you identified a place to stay? Blah 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 blah. You might have to do that ASAP because my husband is about to come down to Abuja, and it will be, yeah, I told him about you, but he's like, I think it's time for you to get a place of yours, guys." Immediately she broke down news to me. I put my shoes on and I walked downstairs out of the house. I said, "Lock, this is big." I walked downstairs and I walked out of the gate. Immediately I stepped out of the gates. Guess what happened? I met somebody that I knew in college. He did not go to the same college with us, but he visited the college when we were still in college because his sister went to the same college with us. So I met him, and when he came to college at the time, I think we had a good time, and he liked me, and he liked my best friend. So he was like, "Tenny, what's up? You living here?" I said, "Yeah. Well, what's going on?" And then we, talked and hugged each other and everything. And he's like, "So what's going on?" I said, "Man, I'm in Abuja for youth service, and this the place I'm staying right now. They just told me that I have to leave." He was like, "What? They say you have to leave for what?" You know what? I got a 2 bedroom house. Guys, this is so powerful. I have a 2 bedroom house. You don't have to pay a dime. Go get your things and let's go to my house. Guys, that's how I left that house. And I went to his place and I stayed there throughout my youth service in one of the best locations in Abuja. And I did my youth service without paying it a dime. So that was one of the biggest, I would say one of the biggest encounter I've had with luck, that I know that if you put yourself in a position and you just believe that somehow the universe is working in your favor, somehow things are just going to work out for you. So that one was a big one because I did not expect to see this guy. Nobody introduced him to me, nothing. I just came outside and I saw him. And then boom, I was able to get a place to stay. I didn't have to go on the street for 1 full year. And in one of the best location in Abuja, that's where I stayed for my youth service. So that's the personal story that I had that as we're talking about luck, I think that was a big one for me. Anybody else? I think I see Oyebuchi and Paninia. So Buchi, you go ahead.
Okay. Hi guys. So, a story that comes to mind would be in 2018. So prior to this time, I had started like an advert business in school, and it was my second year. Trying to run the business. It was doing really well, but I didn't really know a lot of things, and you know, just being a young person and being curious or interested in things that were finding information everywhere and anywhere you could. You read online, you go to some I just find anything put the ideas together, sit with yourself, sit with your friends and just create things. And we're struggling with it, and then one day I I was speaking with one of my mentors at the time, and then he told me about this digital marketing training program that was happening in the environment, but it wasn't happening in school. It was happening in town, outside school, outside campus. And one of the criteria was that you had to be like an NYC student or at least a graduate. But I was neither of that. I was a student at the time. And but then there was something I knew that was going to be really, useful for me, but I didn't know. So when he mentioned it, I'm like, "Oh, I really can't go. The time has passed." In fact, the registration time had passed. I wasn't qualified on the basis of the fact that I was an undergraduate. So I'm like, I mean, like, I don't qualify for this. And he was like, "Says who? At least just go there and see what happens." I'm like, Abi, I have nothing to lose. And so the weekend of that week, I went there, which was supposed to be the first day of the training. I went there, and then I came really early. I walked into the office, and then I went to see the curator, the organizer. And I sat on her, like I sat to talk to her, and she asked me, and then she asked me, "Okay, are you a student?" I said yes. She was like, "No, but then this opportunity is not open to students." And for some reasons, I just explained to her how badly I wanted this training, how badly I wanted the experience. And then the next thing that she told me was, "But then we already, we've taken the max capacity, we've maxed out our capacity." And so there was really
Wow.
no opening for me. And then she said, "But then there's one last student that's supposed to resume with us but hasn't come yet. I won't promise you anything, but just let's see how it goes. Ideally, you're not qualified on any of the most important bases, but let's just see how it goes." I'm like, "Okay, thank you." So I felt really satisfied knowing that I'd given it my best shot. I didn't know that I was going to, anything was going to come out of it because I wasn't qualified, and then they were fully booked. And so I went home. By like 5 p.m. that day, she called me and told me that the last person that she told me about that was supposed to resume that day with them, called them to tell her that they won't be able to, join the cohort. And so if I'm still interested, then I can come and join. And I was, I was so excited. It was an intensive training. It was thorough. It covered a lot of bases, and it was absolutely free.
Wow.
And that set like the tone and foundation for me in regards to my career. Many of the things I know that now became like a foundation for me to build up to where I am now with knowledge and skills and competence. And it was absolutely on lock. I just remember
That's
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. So what I heard from that is you showed up. Guys, I always tell folks that are part of our ecosystem is um the number one rule to being successful, you have to be in the room. I've been in situations where we've gone to conferences and you're so tired, you're exhausted, and you're like, you know what? Let me just call it a day tonight. Let me just chill for tonight. Let me not go. But when you force yourself to go out and you be in that room, you start having breakthroughs. You start seeing people that you did not expect you were actually going to meet. So I love that experience that you had, Buchi, because when you show up, just showing up alone shows that you're serious. So we had a lot of people. We had the boot camp in Atlanta. And we had a lot of people show up from so many other different parts of the country. And some of them, the perception that they had before they showed up absolutely changed before they left. Because them showing up, they were able to see things that they've not seen before. They were able to meet people they've never met before. They were able to experience things they've never experienced before. And that helped change their perspective significantly. So showing up is one other important rule that you have to abide to, that when you do that again and again and again, you increase the odd of you being lucky. Because one day you might just run into somebody that have changed the game for you. So good experience, Bichi. Paninga, I think you had something that you wanted to say.
Yeah. So Tenny's story actually reminded me of an experience that I had in 2021. I would like to share what I learned from that experience before I share the story. I believe that we can attract luck by what we do, but who we are is even much more attractive to luck. So I got a call in 2021 in just in Nigeria, and it was from a medical doctor who is now the commissioner of health in my state. He said, "Well, Padinga, I've been observing you for some time, and I think you're the kind of guy I would love to work with." So he asked me to go receive some goods for him in Lagos. So that was going to be my first time in Lagos, and those goods were coming from China. And so he sponsored the trip to Lagos simply because, "Hey, Paninga, I have been observing you for some time, and I think you're the kind of guy I would love to work with." Then when I got to Lagos, I met this guy for the first time. We've been in communications on WhatsApp, and I told him about my trip. I was like, "Man, this trip is so tiring, traveling from Jos to Lagos. It was several hours on the road." And he said, "Well, you're not going back to Jos on road." He instantly asked for my account details and wired, the money for a flight ticket from Lagos back to Jos. So that was my first time flying. Well, my first
Wow.
time in Lagos, it was paid by someone simply because, "Hey, I've been watching you for some time." Then my first flight was again from Lagos to Jos by someone I met for the very first time, again because he's been watching me for some time. So we can indeed attract luck by what we do, but who we are is much more attractive to luck.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I appreciate that explanation right there. I think um, every day that we position ourselves and be a better human being and show up consistently again and again and again, people are watching. A lot of people see Excite Capital right now. Oh, what you guys are doing is great. Blah 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 blah. Now I like what people are saying, but guess what? What happened is we actually showed up every single day, non-stop, for close to 7 to 8 years now. Every single day. There's no one day that I think it's probably once or maybe once or twice that I've not spoken to Leslie since I met him or since we created Excite Capital. Whether I'm on vacation or having a baby, we are chatting in some way, shape, or form. Me, Dr. Oni, and Leslie, we have a group chat and we're always communicating there, right? So as long as you continue to do and you're working in your purpose, you have a vision that you're pursuing, people are going to be watching. Some people that are part of our mentorship program, we tell them that the the system to attracting what you want is no like and trust. Paninga, the reason why that guy saw you as I've been watching you is because you showed up. And and then he started watching you. You were consistent, doing it again and again. And he's like, "Oh, okay. I like this guy. I like what he's been doing. Okay, cool, cool." And then he started liking you. And that's why when he came to like paying your flight ticket or inviting you to Lagos, that wasn't a big deal because he has watched you for a long period of time. And now investing in you was not a problem. People have problem with raising capital because they've not been able to put themselves in a position for people to know them and then spend the time for them to actually like them because of who they are and the problem they are solving. And then lastly, they're not able to build that trust because they don't even know them in the first place. I asked a question between know, I like, and trust. Which one is the most important? People say it's trust. No. People say like, no. It's not trust or like, it's no. If they don't know you, they can't like you. They don't like you, they cannot trust you. As simple as that. All right. So showing up and working on it consistently over a long period of time, and whatever you do, I think that produces a significant amount of luck. So anybody else? Anybody else? If not, we can go to another way luck has played a. Is somebody saying something?
Yes. Hi, Tenny. It's Tisha.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Now I could talk.
Let's go,
So
let's
my
go, let's go.
my luck is that God. I always say God. God introduced me to my friend who taught me who taught me about investing and like money management. So before that, I was lost, but God introduced me to her, and since then, it was the best decision I ever made. So that was my luck. You know, we just started to have a regular conversation, and then she said to me while sitting on my couch, she's like, "Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have any savings?" And I'm like, "Huh?"
What are you talking
Like
about?
it literally sounded like French, like someone speaking a different language. And I'm Jamaican,
Wow.
by the way, which we speak English and patois. And I was like, "What are you saying?" So she started a little a little meeting group, like a book club, but it's a finance book club. So she tell everybody to come, bring a book, which I bring a book, and this was 2014. And since then, I cannot stop. So
Wow.
that was my luck. And it's the best decision I ever made. That's one of the best decisions I ever made in life. Let's say it like that.
That's
So
beautiful. That's beautiful.
that's,
And how did you meet this your friend?
huh?
The friend that you're talking about?
How did I meet her? At work. At
Work.
work, we were just casually talking, casually. One day, she came over my house for dinner. As I said, she sit on my couch, and she just, out of the blue, just decided to ask me these questions. And I'm like, what? Because she's been investing for years. And I'm like, huh?
Got you.
And it just out of the blue just came out of her mouth. And I was stunned because I didn't know what she was saying. And I didn't understand the concept. So I was like, okay. So when she started the book club, I was like, I go all in. So from that one book, I think is The Millionaire Next Door. I think that's the
Mm-hmm.
book. And since then, different financial books. So that's my luck.
Letitia, we would need that lock in this whole ecosystem that we are building right here. Like some of those books, I know when we met, there are some books that you mentioned I recommended that we read. Please, if you know
Oh,
there are some books that have actually transformed the way you think, please, go on
okay.
the Beyond 9 to 5 Club, drop those books, recommend those books. Maybe we can start our own book club too, you know.
What books? Oh,
Um,
trust me, I have a lot of books. What books do you want?
oh
Finance
no,
book?
so
100%, I could hook you up with that.
finance book, personal development book for anything that can help somebody move from where they are and help them move upward a little bit.
So
Anything that can help. So
my
please.
my advice is all a mindset, but it's not just one book. It's continual. When you continue read and it's become repetition, it would
Mm-hmm.
change. So you can't just read one book and put it down. That's the problem with people. People read one book and put it down. And me reading all these books, and trust me, it helped me tremendously. I cannot, honestly, I cannot. I don't want to talk about it, but it's like tremendously. Um, the thing is, don't once you read that book, don't stop. Because I realized one book would say something and the other book would say something else that is completely different. But both stuff works. Like you could do this or you could do that, and then you just build up on your knowledge. So that's why I always tell people don't read one book, read like multiple different books. And it would, by you reading these books, you develop your own strategy. like how to invest, like how to make money. There's a different, like how to. So that's the thing. You just have to continue read. Just continue read, and you develop your little hope, your little habits of doing little stuff, and you know what to do. And
Absolutely.
like, so when someone is having a conversation with you, you could either agree or disagree, but your disagreement doesn't mean that you're wrong. Your disagreement would be like, okay, this is another way you could do it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, that's
that's it.
beautiful. That's beautiful. And you see how, basically, based on what you just said, how I thought you talked about a compound effect, and I talked about the score will take care of itself. These are two different books, but they have a similar concept. And then if you read both of them, you can take one or two things from them, and then you can add to your database. Because as you continue to develop yourself and read and listen to other people and learn, you get better every single day, and you become smarter. But anyways, guys, this is a very important topic. I have a couple of other luck related stuff I would have loved to share, but I think we basically ran out of time. But again, for next session, please, if you have specific topic you'd like to share, recommend them to us, and then we can come on, talk about it, and then go from there. And Claude, it looks like you want to talk, but we cannot unmute you. Is this still here?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
I
Tenny,
can
can
hear
you
you,
hear
but
me?
I can hear you
Yeah,
less.
and I was just gonna add, everybody, invite your friends. This is this session is free. It's just like a free conversation mentorship that we give every Wednesday evening at 6 p.m. So you know other people that could benefit from it. Our goal is to help as many people as we can get on started on that journey in different things. As you guys can see, I'm in Scrubs. I'm in my ketamine clinic here in Baltimore. So you starting a business, doing anything, or you know anybody that's starting a business that could need any kind of guidance, invite them over here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. We're gonna come in, continue to give our best, share our best, so that we can all keep growing together, and creating a massive wealth together. So, I just wanted to add that as you wrap it up, Tenny.
Yes, sir, Claude. Unfortunately, I cannot unmute you. Leslie, you mute yourself, please. I cannot unmute you. So we're going to wrap it up. I look forward to chatting with you guys next week. Continue to invite your friends, like Leslie mentioned, people that you think that are interested in being in this circle. Let's get them together and let's have conversations. Okay. Again, it's going to be not just going to be talking. We're going to be sharing stuff and exchanging ideas and information together to grow together. Okay. All right. Until next time, I'll talk to you all later.